Madison and represents Fair Elections Wisconsin. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having this hearing. My name is Paul Malishki, and there's one essential task that we all have to do before we can vote. We have to register to vote. So for about the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about a way that we can make a significant improvement in our voter registration system. Our municipal clerks and county clerks are just completing a marathon of reading handwritten registration forms and manually typing them into the statewide voter registration system. It is a method that's not very efficient and it's prone to errors. Some forms are not complete. Some are very hard to read. This means extra follow-up work for the clerks. After they're processed overnight, they undergo the HAVA check. About 10% to 15% of them fail the HAVA check. That means, again, more work for the clerks. They have to follow up with the voter. A lot of this work comes at the same time they're trying to prepare, do all the other things for the big elections. But there are 13 states that have found a better way to register voters. They've developed an electronic method of registering voters that's secure, more accurate, saves money, and ensures the timely processing of the forms. The specifications for these systems are quite similar from state to state, providing a proven formula for a successful system. The 13-state system typically involves a series of web pages where the voter enters all the required data. Now here's the key point. When the data is entered, the system does an instant check against the database from the Division of Motor Vehicles. It checks name, date of birth, and either the driver's license number or the DOT ID card number. They must match exactly. If not, then the applicant is told that they cannot use the paperless system to register. So this ensures an accurate registration. Overnight, then, the application goes to the municipal clerk electronically. The clerk gets the registration in a pending file. The registration is not complete until the clerk approves it and moves it into the active file. So there is human control over every registration. But the clerk saves time and money because they don't have to type it in. Typographical errors are reduced. And the HAVA check, it's already been successfully completed, even before the registration gets to the clerk. A couple other key aspects that the 13 states have. They go into the database of the Division of Motor Vehicles, retrieve the voter's signature in a digital electronic format, and then take it and append it to the voter registration form. Also, the system closes 20 days before the election, just as open registration ends now, 20 days before. And third, just as we do now, a verification postcard goes out to the voter to verify the address. In November of last year, AB 365 was introduced by Representative Therese Berceau, with 22 additional co-sponsors. The companion Senate bill from Senator Risser followed a few months later. These bills contain the specifications and restrictions that are used successfully in the other 13 states. Arizona was the first state 10 years ago with online registration. Analysis there has shown that it cost them 89 cents to process a paper form and 3 cents to process an electronic application for the local election officials. Once legislators learn the advantages and how the restrictions maintain accuracy, it is often passed in these other states with broad support. For instance, in Colorado, it passed the House 60-4, passed the Senate unanimously, and it has been administered by 2 secretaries of state, first a Democrat and now a Republican. In South Carolina, it passed both houses unanimously, was signed by Governor Nikki Haley, and then cleared by the U.S. Department of Justice under Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act. Detailed information on the other states' bills is available on the Fair Elections Wisconsin website. It's listed in the handout, or just Google Fair Elections Wisconsin. It has links to the legislation from the other states and links to reports on modernizing voter registration. Today, we can go online to apply for Social Security or register for organ donation. In Wisconsin, we can get a fishing or hunting license online. Our Department of Transportation lists 18 functions on their website that people can do online related to the driver's license. Income taxes, they're pretty important. both the state of Wisconsin and the federal government encourage us to file electronically. Why? Because it's more accurate, they can process it faster, and it's cheaper. We can gain these same benefits in voter registration by passing AB 365 and instituting electronic instant check voter registration. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Paul. Senator Mark has a question.
Yeah, real quick. What happens if somebody doesn't have a driver's license or a DOT-issued card?
2 years ago, the Government Accountability Board announced to their staff that they had found a baby step in this direction that they were going to start to work on. And they actually launched it about 2 months ago. It's called Click and Mail. And I think Mr. Kennedy talked about it a little bit. So the end result would be that everybody comes to the same website. If you have a driver's license, we're going to send you this way in the website. We're going to do it the most efficient, the most effective, the most accurate way. We're going to do it with instant check. If you don't, we're going to send you this way in the website. And we're going to help you out as much as you can. Click and Mail has a number of disadvantages. It doesn't do that instant check of name, date of birth, and driver's license number because they don't have it. And also the applicant has to print it out, find a postage stamp, mail it into their clerk. There's concern that people will think that they've already completed it and they will forget that last step. They'll get to the polling place on election day. So it's not perfect, but it's about the best that we can do. And I think 2 states, at least 2, California and Louisiana, have this dual track system. When the Government Accountability first promoted this idea 2 years ago, they were originally going to restrict even click and mail to people who had a driver's license or state ID card. I intervened. I talked at a Government Accountability Board, said they needed to set something up for people who don't, because in fact those are often the people who need to re-register more often, need more help. And we traded letters, and I got some national voting experts to help write a letter, and eventually they gave in to my pestering, and they agreed to open it up to everybody. So right now, Click and Mail is online, and it's available to people. But because of the limitations, it's really, I don't think it's going to be ever amount to a large number of registrants.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your testimony today.
Thank you.